Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. The primary goal of my YouTube channel is to help people to eat more vegetables. And the problem is that eating vegetable is not as simple as you open up a bag of fast or processed food. However, the only way to eat more vegetable is to cook your own meals. Because vegetables are perishable, they are not as easy to convert them into fast and processed food. However, the industries are trying, and if we make the demands, they will make it happen. But first and foremost, we need to come to like vegetable first. And most people do not like vegetables. And the main reason that it is more difficult to cook vegetables than to make them tasty. However, once you know how to cook them, vegetables in fact are more delicious than meat. There definitely is a learning curve for a person to like vegetables. When I talked to my friend Rob, he used to be a faculty member in the Department of Nutrition at the university. He told me that in the United States, only about 9% of the population eat enough vegetables. The health consequence is diet. Because instead of eating vegetables, people eat a lot of junk food, which he defined as food with lots of calories but with very little nutritional value. Rob told me that one of the main problems that people do not eat enough vegetable is due to lack of exposure. I still remember one time in one of my cooking classes, I showed a class how to prep a head of cauliflower, which is a very simple process. However, I was surprised when I did a quick survey. I discovered half of the students in the class had never prepped a head of cauliflower before. And since then, I have made observations in the supermarket. It turned out that actually I have never seen anybody put a head of cauliflower in their shopping cart. So in this case, availability definitely plays an important role. Cooking with vegetable sometimes could come as a significant challenge. Let's take the cauliflower as an example. As you can see here that the cauliflower is pretty big. If you use the entire cauliflower for one meal, you're going to get bored with it really quick. The question then becomes that if you're going to use the cauliflower for one meal, what are you going to do with the rest that you are not going to use? And for most people, having cauliflower once a week is plenty enough, particularly if the cauliflower is the only vegetable that you're going to eat in that meal. I remember my friend Janet used to cook cauliflower on the grill. She would use the entire head of cauliflower, and it was delicious, but her family soon get tired of it because this is the main vegetable that they are having for that meal. This is where advanced prepping of my fast cooking system comes into an important part of home cooking. The principle of advanced prepping is very simple. Again, it goes back to exposure and availability. By having the food ingredients that already prepped and cut up to the size how you want to cook them, you are more likely to use them. And most people think advanced prepping is tedious and takes a lot of time. However, that is not the case at all. In this video, I'm going to use the cauliflower as an example to demonstrate how simple and straightforward it is. So okay, let's go into the kitchen and see what we could do. If you look at the size of this cauliflower, it is about the size of a small basketball for children. And when you look at this, there's a good reason why people do not buy them. Because there's no way for you to use this entire cauliflower for the meal unless you're cooking for a party. And we don't cook for a party that often at all. And the best way to disassemble this cauliflower is to start at the bottom. I will trim off the leaves first. I bought my cauliflower at the supermarket known as Aldi. They sell the cauliflower by head rather than by weight. So all heads of cauliflowers are the same price. And inevitably for me, I usually pick out the largest one. Because with advanced prepping, I know that I will use the entire head and nothing will go to waste. Next, I'm going to trim off the big chunk of florets one by one from the stem. I use a vegetable knife to do this because the thick blade of the vegetable knife gives me more leverage. After I trim off the floret, it left me with the stem of the cauliflower. In the past, I used to throw the stem away until my cousin Marge told me that I could actually use the stem. It took me an extra few minutes to prep the stem, which I will show you toward the end of this video. Next, I'm going to cut the floret to the size that is suitable for stir frying. And then I will store them in a plastic container. So anytime when I'm ready to cook, the cauliflower is all ready to put into the wok. And also by storing them in plastic container, I can use the exact amount I want to cook a particular dish. And when you prep the cauliflower like this, you can significantly extend their shelf life. For me, they are usually good up to 10 days in the refrigerator. And so from one cauliflower head, I was able to get 10 cups of cauliflower floret. As I have mentioned, I have learned to use the stem from my cousin Marge. And the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut off the end from the stem that has been dried. In fact, I think you could leave it on as well. I'm going to prepare the stem in such a way and make them look like cauliflower rice. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut the stem into thin slices. And then I'm going to cut them into narrow strips. The stem is pretty hard, therefore a sharp knife will be helpful. Again, I use my vegetable knife here. The thick blade gives me a lot of leverage. This is a good time to practice your knife skill. As you've seen here, the next step is for me to dice the stems. And then I use a rocking motion of the knife to cut them up into even smaller pieces. You might ask, is this worth the time? Sometimes I ask myself the same question. I do this because it gives me the satisfaction that I'm able to make use of every part of this cauliflower. And I use these chopped stems to make fried rice, and they taste great. And this cauliflower gave me nearly 2 cups of chopped stems. Again, in the past, I have always thrown away the leaves. Through my cousin Marge, I realized that I definitely could make use of the leaves. They are of great nutritional values and they taste good as well. Dicing the leaf is a bit simpler than dicing the stem. Again, I cut them into strips, in very much the same way as I cut up the stems. And then I cut them crosswise to convert them into small chunks. And of course, if I want to save time, I probably can do this in my food processor. But then I have to get out the food processor and clean them afterward, so I don't know what is more time-saving. So in this case, I feel good that I'm able to use both the cauliflower stem and the leaves. I realize that it takes more time, but for me, it's a moral victory that I do not waste anything. And so through advanced prepping, now I have my cauliflower available to me anytime I want to use them. And I use them in many different dishes. And the main reason that I use them regularly because they are available to me and ready to go. And this is the reason why I emphasize advanced prepping, because through that you will cook vegetables far more often. In this dish, I'm cooking cauliflower with some eggplant. I only need to add the amount of cauliflower that I need for this dish. And I can use rest of it for another dish. And here I add the cauliflower leaves and stems to a fried rice dish. Because of the nature of how you cook vegetables, and making them available anytime when you cook through advanced prepping is crucial. So in this case, you can cook cauliflower several times a week without getting tired of them. This is the power as well as the advantage of my fast cooking system. With flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, you always have a lot of options how to cook your dishes. This makes your cooking practical, efficient, creative, fun, as well as tasty. To me, this is the key to make home cooking sustainable. I post a new video every day to present my fast cooking system. If you're interested to learn more as well as to adopt my cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would like to help you improve your life with home cooking. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.